moment. Just have to press some buttons and we'll be good to go. That was obnoxiously loud. Oh, look, Facebook changed how they do live video. That's great. I love it when Facebook changes things. That's what I'm saying up right now, by the way. I'm talking to myself. Yes, it's what I do. Yes. Did Facebook change the stream key? That'd be somewhat annoying. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're now live on the Facebag, the YouTubes, and Twitch. Good evening, I'm David Reimer at the Texas Storm Chasers. Bit of a surprise this evening, but nevertheless, you deal with what Mother Nature gives you, and tonight that is a tornado warning for portions of Haze, Blanco, and Burnett counties down in the hill country until 11:15 p.m. A possible tornado is located near Spicewater, 8 miles southeast of Marble Falls, moving south-southwest at 35 miles per hour. Now, this is going to be generally east of Marble Falls, west of Lakeway, west of Briarcliff. The immediate threat is going to be for Highway 71 between Highway 281 and a little split off of Highway 191, excuse me. So give me just a second. My apologies. I'm still getting somewhat situated here as we rock and roll and deal with Mother Nature's mischief. Alright, so the reason we're here, we've got a tornado warning for portions of Haze, Burnett, and Blanco counties in the hill country until 11:15. Let me make this clear. This tornado warning does not include the city of Marble Falls, does not include Lago Vista, does not include Lakeway, does not include Round Mountain, does not include Johnson City, Dripping Springs. This is for a storm just southeast of Marble Falls. Let's go ahead and switch over to the which way the wind is blowing mode, and yeah, you can see we've got a pretty impressive wind signature coming off this thunderstorm. Even if we don't have a tornado down at this point, this storm is likely producing very strong straight-line winds in excess of 75 to 85 miles per hour, very near Highway 71 and Highway 281. The circulation in this supercell thunderstorm are moving south-southwest at 35 miles per hour. I'll be honest, we did not expect a tornado threat this evening, and so far, a majority of thunderstorms up until about 20 minutes ago were behaving quite nicely, excluding the whole trying to hit your house with lightning thing, which, I mean, it's June. You get a summer thunderstorm in June, it's going to try and hit your house with lightning. That's a well-known fact. But obviously now we have escalated to the point of having spinny mischief, and we just don't like having spinning mischief, that's for sure. So that's why we're here. This is going to be a tornado warning for Haze, Blanco, and Burnett counties until 11:15 p.m. for a possible tornado approaching Highway 71 between Highway 281 and where we have the little Highway 191 split off. This is going to be moving south-southwest at 35 miles an hour. After it moves south of Highway 71, we're going to have to watch areas east of Round Mountain, areas near and east of Johnson City. If this thunderstorm were to continue on its current track, it might impact Johnson City in about 1 hour. That would be near midnight. We've got thunderstorms producing a whole lot of lightning, heavy rain, maybe some small hail, gusty winds across the eastern hill country, portions of central Texas. It's raining in Georgetown, it's raining in Round Rock, it's raining in Pflugerville, it's about to start raining in Austin. If you look off to your west, you're likely seeing one heck of a lightning show late this evening. We've got summer thunderstorms dropping lightning bolts left and right across portions of the hill country in central Texas this evening. And then we've got this thunderstorm that has ramped up over the last 20 minutes that is capable of producing damaging straight-line winds up to 80 to 85 miles per hour and a brief tornado. When we start seeing wind signatures this strong, especially in the summertime, we have to keep an eye out for brief tornadic circulations. Let me be clear, I don't think we've got a long track, angry, significant tornado down, but if we by chance end up having a brief tornado or two over the next hour and it comes down your street and hits your house, you're not going to have a great night, which is why you have to take the warning seriously. If you're in this red tornado warning polygon, let me turn off the radar so you can see it better. This is west of Briarcliff, west of Lakeway, west of the whole I-35 Metro in central Texas, east-southeast of Marble Falls, east of Highway 281, does not really include any particular towns between 281 and I-35. Now, this storm is kind of moving south-southwest almost, which I know is quite anomalous for tornadic supercellular thunderstorms, but in terms of storms that have produced tornadoes that were moving south-southwest, and let me be clear, this is the path or direction of storm travel, not intensity. The Gerald tornado, the supercell that produced that tornado family, there were multiple significant tornadoes that day. That supercell was moving south-southwest. Like I said, this is not a Gerald situation where we've got F3, F4, F5 tornadoes down and dancing around, but nevertheless, that is a analogy or an analog of storm direction. So this storm is probably producing winds 70, 80, maybe 90 miles per hour, very near Highway 71, near Highway 281. This storm is moving south, almost south-southwest. Frankly, the nasty wind signature is going to be passing near Round Mountain. This is continuing to track west towards 281. So Round Mountain, you're not technically under a warning right now, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're in Round Mountain on Highway 281 or east to go ahead and seek safety. That's going to be your lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Johnson City, technically you're not under any warnings right now, but this storm's trying to track your way, and it's got a pretty nasty looking wind signature, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to keep an eye on it. I don't expect a widespread tornado threat tonight. To be frank, it's somewhat of a mesoscale miracle or storm mesoscale feature that we're even having to deal with tornadoes tonight. This is not a tornado setup whatsoever, but sometimes when you have storm scale interactions, you end up having a little bit of spinning mischief, and that's what we're dealing with tonight. Not under a severe thunderstorm warning. Radar is detecting an area of stronger straight-line winds, maybe 50 to 55 miles an hour, coming up on Lago Vista, Briarcliff, Jonestown, Lakeway, just west of Lender, West Cedar Park, west of Highway 183, and western Travis County. This area of strong winds moving south at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. Further west on Highway 171 and Highway 281, just northeast of Round Mountain, you can see we have much stronger winds being indicated by the weather radar. Straight line winds up to 75, 80 miles per hour being indicated. That's definitely strong enough to bring down trees, cause power line damage, cause damage to structures. So even if there wasn't a tornado warning in effect, you'd still want to take this storm seriously. We recommend you go to your lowest floor you can get. Center room, we want you to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We don't want you playing around. We don't want you going outside looking at all the lightning. We want you to get away from windows, all right? Strong winds can knock down trees, can blow stuff into windows. Windows break, glass shatters, glass gets impaled in you. Not a great situation to be involved in. As someone who's stepped on glass plenty of times, it's unpleasant enough when you step on it and it goes into your foot. It's an entirely different story if a window breaks and that glass ends up coming flying at you. Hopefully this won't be a long-term, long-duration issue in terms of the thunderstorm producing damaging winds or the potential for a brief tornado. I will say the signature of a circulation has decreased in terms of rotational evidence over the last 10 minutes, but the storm is still definitely capable of producing damaging straight-line winds, as evidenced by those pinks. That's the radar detecting winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, about to move into Round Mountain on Highway 281. Eventually, these damaging winds may make it to Johnson City. Let me go ahead and we'll play with the magical super duper how far is this storm for me button. We'll just say there. I will click that. This is about 11 miles north-northeast of Johnson City, generally moving south, almost southwest, at 25 to 30 miles an hour. Again, most of these storms this evening across central Texas and the Hill Country are not severe. Yes, they are loud and they are very proud. They're producing lightning. They're producing, obviously, if you got lightning, you got thunder. It's June. South of the cool front that's brought a unseasonably pleasant atmosphere to northern Texas tonight. It's hot, it's humid, it's summer, it's June. It's going to be hot, minus magical cool front days, which we might have another one next week, so hey. It's going to be hot till October. The only exceptions are if we get random magical cool fronts, which we are right now, or we get hit by a hurricane, which we are not being hit by right now, thankfully. We are already in the midst of a busy tropical season, and it's probably going to stay busy for the next several months, so keep all that away from us, please. But what we're dealing with tonight are scattered thunderstorms, most of which are not severe. They're shooting lightning, loud and proud, a lot of heavy rain, gusty winds, maybe some small hail. It's June. Anytime you get a thunderstorm in June in Texas, they're going to be loud. We've got isolated to scattered storms popping up in North Texas right now, around the Metroplex. These storms are not severe. They're not producing damaging winds. They're not producing damaging hail. And they're not producing tornadoes. We've got the same thing goes, frankly, here. You know what? Let's go ahead and clear all this off real quick. Let me cut the number of cities we've got displayed down. Let me zoom out. I'll put on the weather warnings again, and I'll put the statewide weather radar. We've got spotty, well, I guess I need to turn the lightning off too. Like I said, it's June. Having lightning, not a surprise, but it doesn't want me to turn it off. Sad. I mean, here's what we've been dealing with over the last, I'll just put a 2-hour loop on. You can see we've got scattered storms that are popping up in North Texas, the DFW Metroplex. We've got storms in portions of the Brazos Valley and East Texas producing lightning. We've got those are moving into Southeast Texas. We've got this cluster in the Hill Country in Central Texas. Had a brief tornadic signature southeast of Marble Falls that no longer exists, so the tornado warning should be canceled soon. Damaging straight-line winds still exist, moving towards Round Mountain and Johnson City. Storms on the I-35 corridor, further east, maybe some gusty winds, moving towards Lakeway. Lago Vista, Briarcliff, gusty winds, a lot of rain, small hail, lightning. We've got some storms back in southwest Texas. We've got a storm northwest of the city of San Angelo, south of Highway 87 between Sterling City and San Angelo. So, yeah, we're going to have scattered storms continue most of the night across the southeastern half of Texas as a cool front generally sags south. Let me turn everything off again. We'll get rid of the lightning. And I'm not going to change the radar label, weather radar, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm popping up now are the surface temperatures. And this will just tell us what the temperatures are. We'll pop that up. We'll get the data to display. It's in the 60s in the Texas Panhandle. 64 degrees in Amarillo. It's currently 63 in Wichita Falls. We've got lower 70s in North Texas. Mid-80s across Central Texas. 80s down in South Texas. But the real difference here is going to be the humidity. Let me pop up the dew point values. Now, this is where you can definitely see we have a cool front coming into the state. Across the southeastern half of Texas, dew point's still well up in the 70s. 81-degree dew point in Corpus Christi. That is horrendous. That is air you can wear. That is air that makes me want to cry. I'm sorry, folks, southeastern half of Texas. You're looking at me like, cool front, what's he talking about? Oh, hopefully we can have a little bit of drier air filter in by morning. Across the northwestern half of Texas, you know what I'm talking about. The dew point at DFW International right now looks like it is in the mid-60s. DFW itself, dew points dropping into the upper 50s overnight. We've got dew points in the 40s and 50s across West Texas and the Panhandle. That is much, 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 much drier air than what we've been dealing with the last few days. And it's a very good short-term reprieve from summer. It's not going to last. It's going to be gone by this time tomorrow night into Wednesday, I'm afraid. So while temperatures tomorrow may be cooler across the northwestern half of Texas, I'm afraid summer will return in earnest by Wednesday. But we might see another shot at a cool front and rain chances next week as the upper-level heat dome shifts to the west coast of the United States, and we kind of get in a bit of a northwesterly flow aloft. We might actually end up with multiple days of rain chances in addition to perhaps cooler temperatures. So that would be nice. But let's go ahead and pop back into the reason why we're here, and that's going to be a severe thunderstorm in the eastern hill country. Let me pop on the weather warnings again. Technically, a tornado warning continues for another 7 minutes. Areas east of Johnson City, southeast of Marble Falls. The circulation that we were looking at earlier has weakened, which is the good news. That's an interesting little storm signature going up northeast of Florence. Let me go ahead and we'll switch to the closest weather radar. We'll turn on the magical storm skit button. So those are those little hail markers and lines you see. Let me go ahead and make sure we turn off all that. And we might have a strong storm going up north of Georgetown, east of Florence. We'll have to keep an eye on that over the next few minutes in case it attempts to put down a bit of a micro burst. We'll turn that off there. But the reason we're here is for this storm capable of producing damaging straight-line winds near Round Mountain, kind of moving towards Johnson City. So, let me say this, the tornado signature we were looking at doesn't really exist anymore. I don't see this tornado warning getting extended past its expiration time of 11:15 unless something redevelops. We could have strong winds moving into Lago Vista, Briarcliff, Lakeway over the next 20 minutes. And with additional thunderstorms developing across portions of the hill country, central Texas, we'll have to keep an eye out for some small hail, extremely frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, and maybe some localized winds 40 to 50 miles an hour, with the exception being this thunderstorm around Round Mountain moving towards Johnson City that could have straight-line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. So remember, it's summer. All thunderstorms produce lightning, especially in summer. And the severe weather threat should remain isolated and brief overnight. It should be confined to mainly some hail, some gusty winds, and I guess apparently a random rogue brief tornado threat with this storm scale mischief we had southeast of Marble Falls about 20 minutes ago. So with that being said, with the tornado threat concluding, at least for now, we'll keep an eye on things overnight. But I'm David Reimer with the Texas Storm Chasers. You can keep an eye on the storms with the Texas Storm Chasers Interactive Weather Radar on our website at texasstormchasers.com/radar. And we'll be posting updates on our social media channels, doing live video updates as necessary overnight. But I really don't expect much severe weather in terms of hail, damaging wind, etc. Should be confined to mainly lots of cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds, small hail, but widespread severe weather is not expected. So we'll keep an eye on things and post updates as needed.